Hello everyone, my name is Yao Long, and today I will be discussing the intersection of student protest at UCSD and the experiences of Asian American students on campus. Throughout this course, we have explored how student activism has shaped institutions by demanding better policies, representation, and inclusion in higher education. At the same time, Asian American students, despite making a significant portion of the student body, often find themselves marginalized in social and institutional spaces. In this report, I will use materials from the Tell Us How You See It archive and Angela Kong's research to examine the reality of the Asian American experience at UCSD. In addition, I will connect these findings with the key concepts from immigration and the Pacific confluence to explore the historical and systemic factors that contribute to this problem. UCSD has a long history of student-led protest for racial and social justice. The Tell Us How You See It archive contains numerous documents that highlight student efforts to challenge inequality and transform the university into a more inclusive institution. For example, this document from the archive shows a protest and addressing issues of campus climate and minority student rights. Angela Kong's research on Asian American students at UCSD reveals an interesting contradiction. Although Asian American students make up nearly 49% of the population, they're still treated as a minority group in terms of research representation and support services. Asian students felt excluded from student organizations, campus events, and even faculty engagements. From this collection in Tell Us How You See It, an Asian American student records witnessing flyers being handed out to non-Asian students, while Asian students were often ignored. This exclusion reinforces the stereotype that Asian students are not involved in campus activism and community building efforts. To fully understand the systemic issues facing Asian American students at UCSD, we must place them within the broader context of immigration policy and racial classification. In Luby's article Immigration, she explains how immigrants have historically been classified and managed based on their racial and national identities. These classifications not only determine legal status but also shaped social perceptions, economic opportunities, and access to institutional support. Similarly, Christian Sasaki's Pacific Confluence discusses how Asian immigrants in the 19th century Hawaii struggled against colonial systems that sought to deter and define them as outsiders. This historical struggle mirrors the challenges faced by Asian American students today. And also, Angela Kong's research supports this notion. She notes that at UCSD, Asian American students are often assumed to stay in their own world. This stereotype is not a natural phenomenon, but the result of systemic struggles that discourage Asian students from engaging in broader campus culture. From a collection of Tell Us How You See It, the author reflects on her experience as an international student at UCSD. The author highlights that Asian students are often assumed to focus solely on academics and are excluded from students' organizations and campus initiatives. This is directly related to what I discussed, that how immigrant policies create racial classifications that shape social perceptions. History shows us that student protest can create real, lasting change. One important lesson we can learn from the past movements is that marginalized voices must be heard in order to create institutional change. As Harman argues in Wayward Lives, protest and resistance are not only responses to oppression, but also explorations of new possibilities. As Asian American students become more engaged in activism, they can help shape a future in which their social and institutional presence matches their academic representation. In conclusion, the experiences of Asian American students reveal an important lesson. Even numerically dominant groups can face systemic marginalization when they lack institutional representation and social inclusion. By learning from history, we can become more aware of structural inequalities and work to create a more inclusive campus environment. That's all of my presentation. Thanks for watching.